what's up, the Link Entertainment family? I'm here with none other than serial entrepreneur. I got John Burns with me. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so happy we had someone as distinguished as you at Wealth Summit Live. This is really huge because events like this don't happen often in Baltimore. So how do you feel to have something like this in the city?
I think it's important. So having events like this in Baltimore specifically, given the historical significance of Baltimore for Black people, talking about wealth building, wealth creation, legacy, I think it's so important. I think events like this need to happen more often, but I think events are one thing. Having discussions in your community, in your families, amongst your friendship group, that's really important too, because that continues to allow the conversations to move forward outside of a summit.
And speaking of family, how was your upbringing? Were you born wealthy or, were you middle class? And if so, at what point did something switch in your mind and say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure that I'm wealthy, not just for myself, but for the generations to come?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think wealth is a mindset. Not necessarily from a monetary standpoint, just from an approach standpoint and how you move forward in life. I mean, growing up, my brother and I were blessed to have an amazing mother that was a physician, so we never went without. We were definitely more upwardly middle class. Definitely had all the amazing experiences that some other kids from other backgrounds probably didn't have. But critically important to our upbringing was my mom was an entrepreneur, so she showed us what that grind looked like, but she was also an advocate for community. And so while it's important to create wealth, I think wealth is also about creating opportunities for other people behind you, empowering your community, being a kind of a change agent in these different spaces. And so we learned early on, and we've moved forward throughout everything that we've done, whether it be in corporate America, different professional settings, with that mindset of creating monetary wealth is important, but creating wealth and legacy that ultimately empowers people behind you, that's equally as important.
Now, for those who don't know who you are, can you just give us a real brief summary of who you are and all the businesses that you own? Yeah,
brief summary. So my brother and I have a holding company called the Burns Brothers. We have 7 businesses underneath that larger organization. I have a marketing company that does multicultural marketing across the country. I have an event production company. We do concerts, award shows. We produced the first ever Juneteenth concert at the White House last year and then also produced it again this year. We have a private membership club called HQDC House, which is really focused on bringing people of color together to network, to collaborate, but to make an impact. And we're opening our second location in Nairobi, Kenya this fall. We have a performance and wellness company. We have a diversity company. And we also have a restaurant opening in Washington in September. But we also do a lot of work on Africa. So we are partners in a call center kind of business processing company. Across 6 countries in Africa. We're in Ethiopia, we're in Nigeria, we're in Kenya, we're in South Africa, we're in Ghana, and we're also in Egypt. And we employ about 21,000 people across the continent. So we're the biggest private employer on the continent of Africa. But everything we do is critically important around how do you mobilize, support, uplift, and empower people of color, specifically Black people around the world. And we really want to be those conduits for change and connectivity between African Americans in this country and Africans on the continent. So that's our critical mission that we're really focused on.
I love to hear it. That was amazing. Listen, if there's anything I can do to assist, to help, in any way cover the opening of your restaurant in DC, let us sister know.
We sure will. Thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing to be a messenger and amplifying these messages. It's critically important.
Of course. Thank you so much.